Hello and welcome to another episode where I want to actually go through someone else's chart this time. It's still natal astrology, so I thought, ooh, interesting. I'll be a surprise once I show you what it is. This chart is going to be Keanu Reeves. I don't know, for some of you that love Keanu Reeves, that's good. For some who don't, it doesn't really matter. I thought it was interesting because he's also a Sun Pluto individual. Well, at least according to what shows here. Yeah, he is right here. His Sun was in Virgo and conjunct literally 4 planets into Virgo, Uranus, and Pluto right here, all conjunct. And all conjunct, actually, technically, all conjunct, all conjunct his ascendant, but all into 12th house. Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, so we're gonna have fun today. So what this usually means is that I'm gonna go straight into like what I see here. I also see a kite. You see this right here? Bloom, bloom, bloom. This right here. This right there tells me that there's a sort of an imbalance. Well, it could be a little too much trine, too much comfort that's happening between certain bodies of elements here, like the planets, especially towards opposition between Chiron and Pluto. And Chiron was in retrograde here. So delayed response to wounding, delayed, not response, realization of wounding specifically to 7th house issues or relationship contracts, all that stuff. I'm pretty sure something happened there. I don't know exactly what his story is. And this is not even to consider if he's when like he relocated. So this is all going to show his basic experiences, his life path, and all that stuff that he's probably most likely still carrying around with him. But to where it happens now in his life, we don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know his exact stories. I don't know him, right? So all I can say is that, oh, I see a kite here. I see that, yeah, is that? So there's a lot of trine, there's a lot of comfort there, but what that can do is not only the trine here, but also these sextiles right here. There's one here, right? And there's another trine right here. So apparently the kite is not that uncommon. It's kind of common. So I'm not sure. But so there's a kind of like a, not imbalance, but it might be too comfortable in terms of like placement. So there might be some sort of struggles that are not expected, right? When it's a comfortable placement or a comfortable aspect, there's not a lot of room for growth. Not that there isn't, I'm not saying that, but there could be, because we also have the opposition right here. Right? We have the oppositions, not only to Chiron, but also to pretty much all the planets here, actually. Chiron to his Sun, all of these 4 planets right here: Sun, Mercury, Uranus, Pluto. So specifically with his self-expression, which is both Sun, Mercury, but his self-expression is kind of delayed here because it's in retrograde. As you can see the R there, right? See the R there? It's very small. Okay, so but also that sort of unusualness about his personality, his identity. So he identifies a lot with that Mercury-Uranus sort of thing. Mercury and Uranus here was conjunct also in Virgo. So that's a lot of unusual, a lot of inner wisdom that he probably gets, but most likely from things that are hidden in his subconscious, which is the 12th house. So probably appearing to his dreams when he's time alone, when he's meditating, when he's, and you can tell, like, I've heard these things about Keanu Reeves, that he's very humble, he's very like human, he's very natural about his approach to things, but also I'm pretty sure because he's a Sun Pluto native like myself, there's a lot of egoic or ego based sort of like changes and like peeling away and regeneration and death and rebirth and all that stuff that is all about the power struggles. But a lot of it probably was still probably experiencing it today, maybe in a different way now. Maybe it's in a different, I don't know his relocation chart, like I don't know where he lives right now, but I could look that up later, maybe and because it's in his ascendant, it's all conjunct his ascendant. He appears as sort of overall unreadable, probably mysterious, aloof, um, very quiet, sort of very kind as well. Sort of that basically Pisces sort of rule 12th house stuff. Um, it almost looks like it's Leo stuff here, but it's not. If you look at the planets, they're all right here. Right? The planets all conjunct literally to his ascendant. So it definitely appears to people that are very unusual and strange, and even much stranger, specifically when it comes to how he expresses that. It's very Virgo, and it's very like, it probably most appears in how he works. Not so much where he works or the places that he works, but in sort of work related stuff. Any sort of work related stuff, perfectionism, all that kind of stuff. He's had to peel away those things and let go of perfectionism, cleanliness, a lot of like health focused like stuff, lots of vitamins. Probably he had to go through that and when he was like younger, much younger, and had to go through all these changes that were just like, oh wait a second, I should let go of that. Let go, let go, let go. Just like I did. I had to let go of these ideals and, about perfectionism. Not so much perfectionism, but yes, also there too. But there's certain things here, there are several things that are happening here, because we have his sun in Virgo. To start off there, we have to look at Mercury, which rules Virgo, but also Chiron. So we also have that effect of Chiron, which is in Pisces, which opposes, it's basically, Chiron rules, with, I would say Chiron, I would include Chiron here, okay, that rules with Mercury, Virgo. So that means that a lot of like that changing of what it means for his identity, what makes him shine, is to go through that wounding. That is, a lot of it is associated with the 7th house issues. So any sort of relationship he's had, maybe marriages as well, he's lost idealism. When you have Chiron in Pisces, Chiron in Pisces is a wounding regarding not only idealism, but this sort of like spirituality, so to speak, like faith and belief. That's more of a Sagittarian thing, but more of that wounding of, how do you call this? Wounding of karmic wounds, most likely as well, because that's also 12th house stuff. It is ruled by Pisces, right? So, mystery, aloofness, spirituality, faith, belief, and escapism. So he might have probably have gone through escapism. So kind of like he relied, or he became dependent on certain drugs or alcohol. Maybe, we don't know. Okay, I'm not saying that he did. And that affected, that gives color to his sun, his Mercury, pretty much all these planets right here, right? So, and so there's that effect of, it's like Chiron and Mercury here rule all the other 3 planets here. So he's very inwardly expressive, so to speak, because we have to consider that this is the 12th house, right? And there's another part here I wanted to actually include. I noticed that the cusp of here, we're looking to the 12th house. The cusp of here is in, the cusp of the 12th house is in Leo. So that means that it's not really going anywhere else. Remember when we talk about astrology, when you read a chart, you have to look at the whole picture. You have to look at the planets, okay, and then what sign they're in, and then what rules that sign. And if it's, because it's Virgo here, we only have to look no further, just still in Mercury. So this is why his self-expression is more very Virgo, and perfectionism, childlikeness as well. There's a bit of like youthfulness to it, because that is Mercury, but also because of Virgo, curiosity and application of knowledge and hard work and offering of oneself, servitude, all that stuff, but also Chiron. So here we have a lot of 12th house issues. It's very strong. I would say probably because we look at the 12th house issues here, where the cusp here, it was in Leo, and the sun, so that means the sun in this case rules his 12th house. At least when it comes to pertaining specifically to the 12th house, the sun rules his 12th house. And what gives that color is, again, going back to Virgo. So it's kind of jumping back and forth between Leo and, not really Leo stuff, but definitely Virgo.